Hey there, I'm Chef Brian from Northeastern Dining. Today we want to present to you a few of the flatbreads we've been featuring here at Churchill's. Two flatbreads that we're featuring today are going to be vegetable forward, and one is going to be an autumn vegetable flatbread, and the other one is going to be kind of a knockoff on avocado toast. We've run both here to significant acclaim, and really excited to share them with you. I'm sure you'll like them. Let's get on to the recipe. This is the autumn flatbread. What we're starting with here is going to be a flatbread crust that we've already put in the oven for a few minutes, and the only thing we've put on it is a little bit of cheddar cheese. So that's it. This flatbread can be served hot or at an ambient temperature. We're essentially going to be putting a lot of New England kind of autumn flavors on top of this flatbread. So you can almost kind of think of it as being somewhat of a salad on top of a flatbread. So this is our kale. Also, with the finely chopped kale, we've mixed a little bit of baby spinach in it. And this vinaigrette, very simple. It's a little apple cider that we've reduced, a little apple cider vinegar, salt, pepper, red onion, and a little bit of Dijon mustard. We're gonna lightly toss that. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this right in the center of your flatbread. A little bit of local sliced apple. So these are some local Empire apples. We've just sliced them a little bit earlier. We put them in a little bit of water with some lemon juice so they don't discolor. But that's it. They're just a little bit of thinly sliced red apple, local product, prime time here in New England. A little bit of apple there for you. So people usually think about butternut squash, and sometimes they think of just that bowl of whipped squash on the table at Thanksgiving. This we've sliced very, very thin. And all we've done, it's essentially raw, which you might kind of go, ugh, and understandably so. But this we've sliced very thin and then just put a pickling liquid over it. And don't get intimidated by the pickling liquid word. All that is just a little bit of sugar and vinegar. Heated it up a little bit and just poured it over that butternut squash. So I sliced this butternut squash thin, kind of cut it into these cute little triangle shapes, and made this kind of sweet, crunchy butternut squash pickle. Nice item on this. There you go. And that's the butternut squash element of this. Next thing we're gonna put on is a little bit of dried cranberry. Again, just a little bit. Kind of just falling from the sky a little bit on top. That's it. And one last autumn item we're adding to this is our pumpkin seeds, just toasted with a little bit of salt and pepper. Nothing says autumn much more than pumpkin seeds. We've sprinkled those on top. And there you go. And as I mentioned before, you can have this hot as it comes right out. It focuses on what has always been sort of a Yankee flavor combination of apples and cheddar, whether you like that or not. And this can be eaten certainly as a meal, as a snack shared, or it can be served as an hors d'oeuvre or just a little snack for a bunch of people. Enjoy. This flatbread is one that we featured here, and it's sort of a knockoff on avocado toast. So what we'll be putting on this is a base layer of avocado. Pretty much one smashed avocado will be our base on it. And then we'll put a little bit of heirloom cherry tomatoes, some pickled red onion, some goat cheese, a little radish, and a little sesame seed. That's it. Simple, really nice, clean flavors. First thing we're gonna do is take our flatbread. And again, this in my bowl is 2 avocados. So I'm gonna take half of it and put it on this. So again, your portion will be roughly an avocado, which is nice if you think about a nice, tasty avocado toast. As far as what is in this mash, it's just fresh avocado, a little salt, pepper, and just a drop of olive oil, and just kind of mashed up in a bowl nice. The next thing we're going to put on is these are some nice heirloom cherry tomatoes. So nice and ripe, have good color, flavor, and again, there's no real rhyme or reason of how these are going on. It's kind of like making a pizza at a place that's busy. They're not going to figure out exactly where your pepperoni is going, so you're just going to drop those on. The next thing we're going to put on is going to be a little bit of pickled red onion. Pickled red onion is something that we use here a lot at Churchill's, and very simple preparation, but it is not as strong and doesn't carry some of the aftertaste that just a regular onion will. So we cut the onions and we put a little bit of sugar and vinegar, bring that up to a boil, pour that over the onions, and it just gives them a quick pickle, and it mellows them out and gives them a nice kind of sweet flavor. And they have a fantastic color, as you can see as well. So again, just sort of falling from the sky. Super nice colors here. And I think that's enough pickled onion. We're going to put a little bit of goat cheese. And it doesn't necessarily have to be goat cheese either, but it's nice. It doesn't have an overly assertive flavor. The texture works nice with this. So we're not putting a lot on. I'm just going to drop a few little pieces on. You know, if something you preferred was a manchego, you could put a little bit of manchego on. This is something you could definitely, do to suit your own taste, but this is something that we have run here, and it has been very popular. So that's what we wanted to share with you. Last couple ingredients we have. One is just radish. Radishes are one of those misunderstood vegetables that a lot of people really don't like. They're just sort of peppery and kind of bland. Who could eat them? And I understand that. I think they are quite tasty. This is a great way to kind of introduce them in because we've cut them very small. And we're not using much. So again, it does give you just sort of a kind of a crunchy, peppery element onto this. Another fresh flavor. And the last item we're going to put on is just a little bit of toasted sesame seed. And again, make this your own. We don't here, but you could often put something like sunflower seeds. You could put a little bit of crumbled pistachio on this or something like that. This works out great. It's a nice finishing element. Just a little bit of toasted sesame, and we're done. That's our avocado toast flatbread that we serve here at Churchill's. Enjoy. A couple of last things about these. As I mentioned, they're a good snack anytime or a meal. And the other thing that makes these very easy and user-friendly is if you don't have time to make your own flatbread dough because people's lives are busy, these can be bought very easily. This can be made with anything from a thick pita or a naan bread, or there are so many ready flatbreads on the market. So don't be afraid. So much of the flavor and the enjoyment of this comes from the fresh toppings that you're putting on. So if you have to cut some corners, feel free because you'll still end up getting a nice product. All right, enjoy.